Morning guys, Dave Northeast Edible. We're here in the garage. It's pruning season. It's winter time. That means the trees are dormant, and just wanted to give you an idea of what goes into pruning both smaller trees, which we did a video about last couple weeks ago, and bigger trees as well. So let's go through the tools that you need to get the job done right. So first thing first, the hand pruners, just simple snips that go in your hand, obviously. Those are number one. We did a video about those a couple weeks ago. Then we do the loppers, obviously more hand tools. We include that in our video as well. And then we have folding saw, one of my favorites. Nice hand tool as well. So these are your three inexpensive tools to start your pruning. Under $100 will get you all three of those tools if you shop the right place. If you go to flea market or Craigslist or something like that. But with what you will need with that is file, something to sharpen these guys with, especially. So maybe $120 you can get all that stuff and you'll be good to go. You can start pruning smaller trees. When you step into the bigger trees, that's when you need a little bit more money, a little bit more equipment, or else it's going to take you forever to do. So when we do that, we go chainsaw. This is steel. This is one of the lighter chainsaws they make. It's also one of the cheaper chainsaws they make, and I'll tell you why we use that, a real light chainsaw, coming up. But even a cheap chainsaw, a good high quality steel chainsaw is going to run you $250. Of course, when you do the chainsaws, you're going to need a couple replacement blades. So when you're on a job, especially if you're doing something like an apple tree wood is really hard. You're going to need a couple extra chains to get you through the job if it's a big job. So consider that as well. Protective eyewear, just basically when you're chainsawing, stuff's going to come flying all over the place, especially with the next tool we mentioned. When you're reaching above with the chainsaw, you're going to need some eyewear protection. So this guy right here, you might not be able to see the whole thing. This is a 12-foot pole saw, steel pole saw as well, professional grade. I think it's an MT or HT30 131. Those guys, that's like a $700-800 saw, but worth its weight in gold. If you have taller trees, this will extend 12 feet, which means you can reach those branches that are almost 20 feet. I'm about 6 foot, so up above your head, holding the end, you can reach it almost 20 feet high. Saves you a lot with getting on a ladder, getting up and down a ladder, and moving the ladder. So, which leads us to the last tool, the ladder itself. A lot of people use the tripod orchard ladders. Those are great. Those are very expensive. I have a little giant, one of those collapsible, so you can make it like an A-frame ladder, or you can make it almost like an extension ladder. Those are great. Those will run you a couple $100. I got mine for $100 used. It's tremendous. So all these tools, fuel. So pole saw especially, I go ethanol free. It's very expensive. I think that was $15 for a gallon, but it's worth its weight for not having to replace the carb all the time, clean the carb, not having to get serviced 100 times every year. Especially when you're out on a job like I did two weeks ago. We did, I think it was 30 apple trees that were about 30 feet tall. I can't go to a service place in the middle of that job. If my pole saw craps out, I'm out of luck. That was 2 hours away. If I go, I'm never going to get the job done. I'm trying to go get the job done in one day and get out of there with a happy customer. So this pole saw, worth its weight in gold. Ethanol free fuel, tremendous stuff. And I think that's basically it. We have replacement blade chains are very important, especially when you're going to a job that's not really local. I always like to have a good blade on the saw, and then bring at least one extra for both saws. So I always keep a couple saws on hand, and then you can get those sharpened. Just throw them out. So Dave Northeast Edible, I think that's it. And then the mix and bar oil, most especially bar oil for keeping these saws lubed up. If there's friction, if there's no oil on right here on the blade, you know, that's bad news. Your saw's not going to work. It's not going to function properly. So Dave Northeast Edible, these are the tools. They're going to cost you quite a bit, but if you want to go get into pruning, you're going to have to spend a little bit of money when you want to prune the bigger trees, or else it's going to take you all weekend to get it done. So Dave Northeast Edible, pruning tools. Check us out, YouTube, northeastediblenursery.com for our plant sales. If you have any questions, subscribe, post them, comments, and remember to like that video. Take care, guys.